Today's discussion, if we can just go straight to the point, is about family business. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that a family business is a business in which one or more members of one or more families have a significant ownership, interest, and of course significant commitments towards the business's overall well-being. And we've seen many of these businesses set up, and we've seen these businesses growing. In fact, in some countries, many of the largest publicly listed firms are family-owned. Think of Walmart of the USA, the Samsung Group of Korea, Tata Group of India, Foxconn of Taiwan. These are family businesses that have actually grown in leaps and bounds to be the blue chips that we know of. But of course, having said that, we all understand that there are common problems these organizations are facing. The interests of a family member may not be aligned with the interests of the business. And of course, we've seen this happening in a local industry. Or in another case, there could be the interests of the entire family may not be balanced with the interests of their business. All right? And of course, another issue might be the interests of one family member may not be aligned with another family member's interests. So these are challenges that family businesses are facing.
But does it mean that the family runs the businesses? No. It's trust and confidence within the family, holding hands with each other, but making sure that your management is good and he works with you. Not under you, with you. When I go and tell my managing director, they work with me. Sometimes I say, don't worry, you go ahead of me. That's how you create what is known as confidence, trust, integrity within the people to whom you are working with. You build them into yourself. Let them reflect Manu Chandaryas in them. And that's how we succeeded in all these companies that we go. We go to the Italian, there's Italian management. We go to France, there's the French management. We go to China, there's the Chinese management. We go to New Zealand or Australia, there's the Australian management. But the art of getting those people with you is not from top to bottom. It's remaining on the bottom and saying, come on, man. Giving the story of growth. Giving the story of, you can do it. Make sure that there is a possibility that you can do it. And in 30 years, we're in 50 countries. What does this signify? It doesn't have to be that you have to be having a silver spoon in your mouth to do it. Now, trust and confidence. That is the first fundamental word. Integrity. I cannot put this hand in this pocket and pull it out and put it in this pocket. That attitude must be out. And you must trust. And while you're trusting others, some might take you to the wrong place. But so be it. Out of 10, 15, 20, if one or two spoil, so what? You got to take risks. And without taking risks, you cannot build.
Tuskys, I think everybody in this room knows what's going on in Tuskys. You have the issue of executive directors and non-executive directors. Again, it's an issue of corporate governance. Who should sit where? Ownership, shareholders, board members. Is it that because you are in the family or you have the family name, you should sit on the board? No. Do you have the necessary skills? Does the board have the right diversity? Has it got the gender balance? Does it have the people who are needed for that particular organization in order to push its growth? Another very interesting case in terms of corporate governance or governance structures is obviously Reliance Industries, where after the matriarch or the father passed away, you have two brothers fighting for the businesses in India, and they had to literally split a giant business to two businesses just because, again, the governance structures or the issue to do with succession planning may not have necessarily been looked at properly. Now, maybe I put one good logo over there. We all know Donald Trump, the author of You're Fired, and how he runs his industries. Again, it's an issue of governance structures, putting in the proper professional management team, and ensuring that your decision-making is aligned towards the best interest of the business, not an issue to do with an emotional decision or an issue to do with what it is that one particular personality wants. Some of the famous authors have said that the three key things that create tension or friction within businesses or family-owned businesses are the issue to do with power, the issue to do with personality, and the issue to do with, ego, like Manu put it. And my joke on ego is that if you go to an ATM and you tell the ATM, I've got a very big ego, when you start shouting at the ATM is not going to feel scared and suddenly give you 100,000 shillings. So I normally say an ego is not bankable. You can't take it to the bank and then suddenly the bank manager decides because you have a big ego, they'll give you money. So like Manu was saying, we have to put egos or personalities and the whole issue of power struggle at bay when it comes to business.
And at this point, and we can't get into a controversy about this, but the person who came up with the idea and executed it must get the majority shares in that business if it is to continue. Otherwise, that person loses motivation and he moves on to something else. And this is what Manu spoke about. You need to now start educating, training, and accommodating family members. And this is the thing about spouses. You need to involve people's wives, even when they don't come to the office every day. And you realize, even in a conflict like what we see in a supermarket, the conflict might not even be between the two brothers. The conflict might have been something that was said in Muranga last year but one, by this mother-in-law to this other mother-in-law. That's a reality. So if you do not involve them, especially with regard to decision-making, that business will not survive. So if someone comes to you with a plan, ask them, have you told your wife? And how do you intend to involve the spouses of the other people, even the men? Then after that, we come into the upward trajectory. Now we've sorted out the registration, we have sorted out the ownership in the management. The business is on the way up. It smells of success. 1.5 billion turnover, 3.5 billion paid out, 5.5 billion. Those numbers, aren't you excited when you hear those numbers? Everyone is around you giving you money. Have. Preferential interest rates, everything. Have. Okay? There comes arrogance. Look at what we have done. It's just 3 years. And the worst part about this is the conflict which comes with it. Because now everyone becomes arrogant equally. Even that brother of yours who appeared recently. It's not just me who has a family like that. It's just me who has a cousin who just appears. When things are good, they just appear. And disrupt everything because now it's ours. This belongs to our grandfather. It was ours. All right? And this is the challenge. You need to have predetermined